Hey guys, it's Annie, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be my 2020 bullet journal flip through. And this year I have had 2 bullet journals, of which I have basically filled up both of them. And yeah, so there's nothing really more for me to say, let's get right on with the video. So my first one I all did from January to the end of May. So let's start. This one is from, I think it's from Tiger, and I really do like this one, even though the pages were quite thin, so lots of things did bleed through. But yeah, so I just did my little title page, yeah, and then here's my key. I did the same key in the front of my second one as well. But yeah, it's just very helpful when I'm doing weekly spreads, even though lots of these keys kind of change, so yeah, not all of it is updated and correct. But yeah, then I did my 2020 cover page. It's very simple and very scrapbooky, and I do really like how that one turned out. And I did my grid, what's it called? A grid spacing spread. I didn't really use this that much, so I decided not to carry it on into my second one. But yeah, and then I just quote, I'm not extremely happy with how it turned out, but it's okay. Then here I did my future log, which basically all of the events I have in the year. So yeah, lots of the second half of the year is filled in on here because I filled it in on my second one. But yeah, here's my goal planner. It's a bit messy here, and I didn't really fill it in, use it that much. So hopefully in 2021 I will try and do one that I will be more motivated to use. And I really do like this quote: a fresh start isn't a new place, it's a new mindset. And I forgot to mention, but for this I just decided to do more of a black and white kind of theme, so then I can go crazy with the colours during the months. Here is my things to check out spread, and it is basically just all of the things that I like to check out, kind of straightforward. So I had a few different categories and wrote stuff down that I wanted to check out. Here is my books of 2020. Obviously I did not read as little as this many books because I didn't want to have to write it in both bullet journals, so my updated one is in my second one, which you'll see in a sec. As you can see, I put continued in next bullet journal. So yeah, now we are going right on to January. I'm gonna get rid of that, that's just a bit, yeah, so I'm gonna go right into January. So for January, I went for a sort of Art Deco kind of geometric theme, and I do really like it, and it's kind of mainly black and white, but I do really like the designs, as obviously I was quite new to bullet journaling when I did this. So yeah, I did a habit tracker, I did a landscape one, and I did really like that layout, so I might decide to bring it back next year. And this mood tracker is a bit messy and not what I would go for now, but I did like it at the time. My sleep tracker, I haven't done one of them in a while, and my playlist, which did turn out a bit messy, so you know. So here is my screen time tracker. I did really like how this one turned out. It looks very nice on the page when it's filled in, but it does take a while to fill in, so I just decided I didn't really need it as much because I can just check on my phone. And yeah, so weekly spreads. These are definitely some of the first weekly spreads I've ever made, so I'm quite new to it, but I still do like how they did turn out. Now moving right on to February, I did a sort of mountain skiing theme, as I did go skiing in February. And yeah, and I really like this calendar design, as this is one of the only months I've done a calendar like this. So yeah, and this is definitely one of my favourite habit tracker ideas. It is just more time consuming to set up, and you can only track a certain amount of habits, which isn't very ideal for me, but I do like it. Then my health tracker and water tracker, and obviously my monthly playlist. Here is a Jonas Brothers concert spread because I went to a Jonas Brothers concert on February 3rd, and I really loved it, so I thought I'd make a spread about it. So now I'm doing my holiday spreads for my skiing trip in February, and I just did a packing list and a little skiing doodle. And then this is like my kind of review, so I did some tickets and some images of what I did, and this little doodle which I really love. So now my weekly spreads for February. I do really like this theme and the simplicity of the mountains and the minimal colours. So now, as you can see, I kind of had to stick multiple pages together. As I tend to do much, it didn't go very well and I was really stressed. So I decided to go for a completely new theme and start fresh because, you know, I just thought it would probably be best. So in March, I did this sort of like tropical leaves theme, and yeah, I liked it. It's not one of my favourites, but I do really like how it turned out. And my mood and habit tracker, my brain dump. I haven't done one of these spreads in a while, but they were kind of helpful, especially in March when I was kind of busy. And yeah, and this was right at the beginning of lockdown, as where I am in the UK, we went into lockdown in the middle of March. So I did this spread, good reasons to put down your phone, and all of my weekly spreads. I was very experimental with my bullet journal that month because obviously I had so much more time on my hands. And yeah, here is my April setup now. This is the first setup I did in a plan with me on my YouTube channel. This is the first video uploaded on my YouTube channel, so obviously it's not very great, but I do really like it and I'm quite proud of it at the time as well. And my playlist, I've really loved this playlist as well, and these balloons, I just really loved how they turned out. I did an isolation bucket list. Oh, that's just, yeah, those memories are like. And here, as I said, I was more experimental with my bullet journal at this time, so I decided to do some more like schedule one, which I didn't actually use that much. So I kind of sometimes see here I did a completely different layout, and yeah, so I did loads of different ones to try it out, because why not? Here is my May, and this is sort of like a flower in a jar theme, very minimal, very like sketchy. I cannot explain it, but yeah. So yeah, my calendar, my habit and mood, and my schedule and activity tracker. And I really actually did like how this spread turned out, because I was kind of do it like as I'm looking at my phone, like a Pinterest board with my affirmations, and I really did like the idea. My favourites and my playlist, and a little vision board there. And yeah, these are all my weekly spreads. For some of the days in May, I decided to go for a full spread, for like a double spread for one day, so I did a daily instead of a weekly, as I just feel like I needed more space to plan, as I was quite busy. And yeah, I really do like the colours I chose here, and I love these spreads where I did the like single spread for one day, but it's to-do, reminders, and I obviously did a little quote, as I am in love with like quotes, and a Dutch door. More of the daily spreads, and yeah, that is it for this bullet journal. Also, as you can see, I had quite a few pages left, so I decided when I filmed my weekly spread ideas video, I did it in this bullet journal because yeah, I had more pages left. I didn't want to start a whole new bullet journal just for YouTube videos, although I may have to do that eventually, but I just decided to do these weekly spread ideas layout. So now moving on to my second one, which is a Rhodia Gold book, and my current one at the moment. So at the beginning, I had my title page, this book belongs to Annie, then my content, which I do have to update actually, I haven't updated it in December, then a little like calendar thing which came with the journal. I didn't use this that much. Now onto my key, and yeah, kind of simple, a bit different to the key that I had here, as I had to include different things, as I had different priorities at that time. So here's my future log. I did decide to do a different layout as I could maximise the space more, as I only had 7 months to do. And yeah, my mid-year goals, I didn't end up writing them down here, I did them online. Same with my YouTube video ideas. I started it here, and then I ended up doing it in a completely different notebook. So that's why there isn't very many ideas on here. Here is my watch list, where basically just where I note down what I've been watching. Places I visited, I only visited one place this year on holiday, which was skiing in February, as I showed you. So I didn't actually get anything to put in here, obviously, as we were in quarantine, so I couldn't travel. Here is my books of 2020. As you can see, this is the updated version, so I copied down all of the books I read at the beginning of the year, and here, so I can just have them all in one place, instead of having them in 2 places, or like different, yeah, just to make it easier for me. And I really want to try and finish this by the end of the year. Probably not going to happen, as we are basically the end of the year now, but it's okay. This is my 2020 in pictures. I haven't actually filled this in, I'm a bit behind, so I'm probably gonna do the end of the year, gonna go stick some pictures down of memories from each of these months. So now my June, this was a very colourful theme, as you can tell, and I did really like it, as we did need a bit of fun and light in June. So yeah, and I did really like this mood tracker, as the finished result looked very cute. And yeah, this was, yeah, just very colourful, very out there, kind of out of my comfort zone, but I did really like doing it. It was very fun to create. Now July, which was my birthday, so yeah, that's really irrelevant, and this month I did a shells theme, and I did really like the shells theme, as July is very beachy and shells for me. That's what I think of, so yeah. And I really am in love with these blue colours here. Yeah, about the screen time tracker, I ended up not filling it in after the 7th because I didn't really feel the need having it. As I said earlier, I have it on my phone and it's so time consuming to fit in and didn't look very nice. So I decided just not to fit it in, and yeah. Another brain dump. Morning routine, I didn't end up doing it on here, as I ended up doing it online, but I did really like set up this spread anyway. Now my mood trackers, I'm in love also with this font that I use, this like cursive font, very bouncy, very happy. These were my birthday spreads, yeah. This I did for a video, but I ended up not using this one. I did it in another notebook, as this was very small and I couldn't really see what was going on when I did it. So yeah, now my weekly spreads, I really like these ones, and just the colours, I'm in love with them. Now into August, I've got to say, this is definitely one of my favourite themes I've done this year. Just, I love it so much, like the minimal and the stamps, which were so like vintage, and I just really loved them. And the colours, this is when I got my mild liners, so these are basically all done in mild liners, as I was in love with them. I did another landscape habit tracker, which I did like too. Content schedule, as I was uploading a lot in August as I was on my summer holidays. And my exercise playlist and favourites, and all my weekly spreads. And I did do a like 2 spreads on France, which I ended up not being able to go on as the restrictions got tighter, like just before we were supposed to go, which was really annoying. So I didn't manage to go, but these spreads are really cute anyway. My 2 last weekly spreads, and now September, which was the first time I went back to school in like ages, since like March. So yeah, that was a very busy month for me. That's why I decided to go for more of a simple theme. I mean, not really simple, but quite nice. Yeah. And the purple, I did quite like purple. Not one of my favourite themes, I've got to say, but I did like how it turned out. I really did like this spread where I did like kind of like a graph layout with where I tracked productivity, water, sleep and steps, but it was kind of time consuming to fit it in as well. And I love this quote, it's one of my favourite quotes, and I love how it turned down the page. And obviously my playlist, then my weekly spreads. I love this Dutch dog one as well. Oh yeah, I left this spread blank. We're not going to talk about that. I was supposed to do a September review. I never really got around to it. So I might just do some sort of quote page or something before the end, because it's really annoying me, the fact that I have a blank page here. Now October, another one of my absolute favourite themes of this year. It is basically just this kind of minimal one-line art theme, and I did loads of these lines and these dots and these leaves as well. And yeah, and I love this face, one of my favourites. And yeah, I just really love this theme, and I love these 2 spreads as well, the playlist and the outfit inspiration. And these weekly spreads, I'm just in love with them. I love this layout. I have definitely used this layout so much. I've used it in October, November and now December as well. I just really love it, and it just maximises space so well, and it just really works for me. This was my half-term to-do list, my routine, which I never actually got around to filling out. My bucket list, which is kind of a bit empty, but you know, that's fine. Then in the last weekly spread, and now moving on to November, I did a sort of very cozy, autumny campfire, not campfire, like fireplace kind of theme with this nice lettering. I didn't do much calligraphy, but I did this very rough, lowercase lettering, which I did like. And yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of this theme because the colours are a bit like, they didn't really go with the kind of things I was drawing, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's alright. I mean, I don't hate it, but you know, that's the same layout I did in October, just because it's one of my favourite weekly spreads to do. I love it. A Dutch door, obviously I can't go a month without doing a Dutch door spread, I'm sorry. And yeah, that last weekly spread, I did really like this layout as well. Now moving on to this month, which is December, and if you haven't already, go and check out my December 2020 plan with me, which is out, yeah. So I did this gingerbread theme where I did like coloured in with my felt tip, like the shapes, and then I went in and did details in my white gel pen. And yeah, obviously I'm only like halfway through this month, so obviously not all my habit trackers and mood trackers are filled in, as you can kind of see. But yeah, and my activity tracker is not completely filled in, but that's fine. Obviously it will look much nicer when it's completely filled. My Christmas 2020 countdown, I really love this gingerbread house and how it turned out. And it's only like 2 weeks until Christmas, which I'm so excited about. Well, I mean, I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, but when it is, it'll probably be less, but you know, when I'm filming it, it is. Obviously, my favourite weekly spread, I had to do it again. Yeah, it's just one of my favourites. Here we have my gifts to buy and cards to send spread, which I've been using a lot. My wish list and my Christmas favourites. Yeah. Gingerbread cookies recipe. This recipe is very rough, I've got to say. So I'm not actually going to follow the recipe when I use it. I just thought it'd be cute to put it in my bullet journal. My favourite Christmas songs. And then these weekly spreads are the last two, like the most updated ones I've done. So this week, I'm filming this on Saturday. Yeah, so I just really love this one. It's more doodly than I'd normally go for, but I do really like it. And then this is going to be next week, which I set up yesterday, and I just really like this layout. I'm just trying something new. And I will obviously have a few more spreads to do, but for now, that is it. Video. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell for more art and bullet journal content for Vlogmas, and yeah, be sure to stay tuned for my 2021 bullet journal setup. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye guys.